Hey guys, I want to go over taxonomy in this module. So a little bit of history about it. In 384 to 322 BC, Aristotle grouped animals by similar physical characteristics. If you remember back to the history of marine ecology, I mentioned that Aristotle is the father of modern taxonomy. And in 1500 AD, herbalists grouped plants in order to treat diseases. Okay. Oops, sorry. Went a little too far here. Carl Linnaeus derived the first, or I guess the use of modern taxonomy here, and we call it usually the Linnaean system of classification. So he was a Swedish botanist and set rules for naming organisms, or binomial nomenclature. So in order to understand binomial nomenclature, basically is the understanding of scientific names. The first word describes the organism in a general way, and this is the genus, or a group of organisms that share major characteristics. And the second word identifies exactly which organism it is, and this is the species, which is a very detailed description. For example, you can see the two down below here. Always, the genus is capitalized while the species is lowercase. So some rules for naming: we use Latin grammar, and we capitalize the first word as I already mentioned, and sometimes it's abbreviated to just the initial. Okay, the second word is always lowercase and is italicized or underlined. And taxonomy here, the science of classifying living things, or the biological hierarchy of classification, and you can see how they're located here. So an anagram for remembering domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species is King Philip came over from Germany Saturday, or whatever you can come up with. And you can see a list of taxonomy here, all the way down to the genus and species at the bottom. The more classification categories two species share, the more traits that they have in common and are more closely related. There are three domains. We have archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. 6 kingdoms. Okay. I don't feel like I need to go over the 6 kingdoms, but you can see them here again. Most of you should remember this from biology. So there are methods of taxonomy, or phonetics here. We use cladograms, which is Greek for branch. And these are simply branching diagrams that show evolutionary relationships among groups of organisms. We'll have another lecture about specifically cladograms ourselves and how you'll be creating them. And they are derived from characteristics that are unique to a group of certain organisms. Okay. We also have DNA analysis, because today we're able to do that instead of just our how an organism looks physically, or how we base their makeup off dissection. We're able to analyze genes from these things. All right, thanks guys.